Welcome to another ICP update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So as you can see, ICP is currently getting a bounce after hitting the fourth wave move down right here. And I did tell you that it was important for ICP to bounce, because if it didn't, then we would invalidate the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. The invalidation point was right here, and we did not get there, which means that this structure is still valid. And I'm expecting another high in the fifth wave right here to complete the third wave right there. Now, what is that third wave? Well, that is the third wave of this 1-2 setup. And this is the 1-2 setup of this 1-2 setup right here. So basically, right now we are working on the third wave of this 1-2 setup, and I know that sounds complicated, but I have had this wave count on the chart for about 5 months now, and so far it has been accurate, so we have to talk about it. And yeah, the third wave of the third wave is almost complete. Like I said, we need another high, which should get to about $18 or so. And then I'm expecting a fourth wave move down, which should be an ABC structure, and then a fifth wave move up. And that fifth wave should get to approximately $20.71, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. And once we do get to that level, of course, we could get to maybe the 2.272 extension or the 2618 extension. We don't have to start going down right here, but after we top in the third wave somewhere in this region right here, we should get a fourth wave move down, and then we should get a fifth wave move up. And after getting these 5 waves, we will be able to confirm that the second wave move down is in, and that we are actually heading in a main third wave move to the upside. And that is the third wave of this very large 1-2 setup. Now, the minimum target for the third wave is $150, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. Is that possible in this cycle? Well, in my opinion, it is, but you have to keep in mind that we don't have to go to these levels, and it's actually very difficult for ICP to get to $150. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. What we need to watch for right now is this right here. First, we need to get above $87, which is this high right here. If we get above this high, then yeah, $150 will most likely be possible for this cycle. However, if we do not get above $87, then this could be the top for this cycle, which would still not be bearish because, going up from $2 to $86, I mean, that's not bearish. But, there's a chance that if we do that, there's a chance that the next bear market gets us another new all-time low. So what we need to hope for right now is that we hit a new all-time high and we do not get rejected right here. Now, I want to talk about the third wave because this is very important, obviously. Like I said, these 5 waves right here will only complete the first wave of the main third wave move to the upside. The main third wave needs to have 5 waves, which means that after the first wave, we will need an ABC move down for the second wave. And then we will get a third wave of the third wave, and that will be the most impulsive move of the cycle. And this whole move could happen very, very fast, and I'm not kidding when I'm telling with this. ICP could literally form the third wave in a couple of months, maybe 2 months. This does not have to take years or, decades. Of course, nobody's expecting that, but still, I'm expecting ICP to get to all-time highs by May of 2025. And we'll see what happens in the fourth wave and the fifth wave. I'm still unsure if we will get a 5-wave move or not. Right now, I'm only tracking an ABC structure to the upside. There is a chance that ICP forms a fourth and a fifth wave move up, but there's also a chance that we don't do that, and there's a chance that the fifth wave move up right here will turn into some kind of ABC structure, and yeah, the fifth wave will not be a fifth wave, it will be a B wave. So I'm not expecting ICP to get 5 waves, but if it does get 5 waves, things could be extremely bullish and it could even get to $300, but you have to keep in mind, right now that's pretty much a very unlikely scenario. I also want to look at the weekly chart because I believe this is important. If you look at the RSI, we are not overbought, which is very, very good, considering the fact that we went up about 2x or so, 2.5x, well actually almost 3x. And yeah, the weekly RSI is looking good, but the monthly RSI is looking even better. Here we are only at an RSI of like 40, which is extremely good, because if we get to like $150, only then the RSI will be overbought. Until then, yeah, it's very unlikely that the RSI gets to the overbought territory anytime soon, at least on the monthly chart. So there is potential for ICP to go up, but it needs to start moving. But also keep in mind, it will start moving when Bitcoin dominance starts moving. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is not really doing anything. It's just going sideways. Let me actually talk about the Bitcoin dominance chart for a second, because what's happening right here is extremely important. So we just got rejected by the 0.618 extension of the previous all-time high. And if you watched my videos like 5 months ago, you would know that I predicted that Bitcoin dominance will most likely top around 60%, and it did top there. So, you know, I mean, we did the exact same thing in the previous cycle. So yeah, this is not really surprising. And speaking of things that we already did in the previous cycles, I want to show you something. So if you look at the bull market support band, which is this right here, we just had a cross on it, and this is very bullish, because if you look at what happened in the previous 2 cycles, in the 2020 cycle, we also had a cross on the bull market support band after we topped on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and when we were already below the bull market support band. And as you can see, after the cross, it took about 48 days for Bitcoin dominance to actually start going down. After the cross, 48 days, we did absolutely nothing. We actually tested the bull market support band a few times, we got rejected, and after we got rejected a couple of times, that's when the altcoin season happened. And if you look at what's happening right now, we got below the bull market support band, we tested the bull market support band, and we got rejected by it. So the altcoin season could start right now. However, you have to keep in mind that in the previous cycle, it took about 48 days for Bitcoin dominance to actually react to these rejections. So we could continue going sideways until January, and then in January we start the altcoin season, and that's when ICP goes up. Also, if you look at the 2016 cycle, a similar thing happened. We had a cross on the bull market support band after topping on the Bitcoin dominance chart. We were below the bull market support band, we actually went up, we tested the bull market support band multiple times, we got rejected, and that confirmed that the altcoin season started. And in this cycle, we are pretty much doing the exact same thing again, so this should not really surprise you. And like I said, I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to drop to about 40% in the next couple of months. And when that happens, then the altcoins would finally be able to start going crazy. I also want to talk about Bitcoin for a second, because what's happening on the Bitcoin chart is looking very, very good. Bitcoin just got to about $100,000 a couple of weeks ago, I believe, or maybe days ago, I don't know. And when we were down here, I did tell you that we will most likely get to $100,000 by the end of the year, and we got to $100,000. And this should be a lesson for the people who were saying that no, we will probably start going down right now when we were down here. You should not always be bearish, and also you should not really be bearish on Bitcoin, because if you look at the monthly chart, I mean, why would you be bearish on a chart that looks like this? It's just, it's not a good idea to be bearish on Bitcoin, especially in a bull market. And there are already a lot of people saying that Bitcoin will top this year and not in 2025. And I think that's just a bunch of nonsense. If you look at the RSI, it's barely overbought. If you compare the monthly RSI right now to how it was in the previous cycles when we topped, I mean, this RSI looks like a big joke, and it's barely overbought, and the price is at about $100,000. I'm still expecting Bitcoin to hit about $250,000 by the end of the cycle, which should be in November of 2025, but we could even get to $300,000 in a more bullish scenario. The real bull market has not even started. Things are about to get really fun in 2025. If you were around for the previous bull markets, you know what I'm talking about. Things only get fun when Bitcoin dominance starts going down. Everyone who invested money in the previous cycle invested money when Bitcoin dominance was doing this, not when it was going up. So right now, when we start going down like crazy on the Bitcoin dominance chart, that's when retail will finally come in, and that's when a lot of money will come into the crypto space, and that will make the altcoins explode. And I'm sure that Bitcoin will be able to get to at least $255,000 by the end of the cycle. Now, of course, that's not financial advice, you should do your own research, this is just my opinion. And if that happens, then ICP should also be able to get to about $100, maybe $150 by the end of the cycle. So yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.